Hi guys and welcome back to my channel. I'm Dr. Adya. I'm a dentist from India, currently pursuing my Masters in Public Health here in Australia. I'm in my last semester right now, so I'm about to graduate in another 8 weeks. Unreal. Anyway, this is one of the most requested video. I at least get a minimum of 3 to 4 DMs every single day for the last 2 years asking me so many questions about my course, my university, how it is, what are the job opportunities, etc, etc, etc. And it's been super hard to respond to all of your DMs because Instagram doesn't show me all messages, and even if it does, I do not have a lot of time to actually sit and go through all of these messages. So that is why I've decided to make this video. This video is going to contain all the details you need to know about public health in Australia as such, but there are also a lot of general observations and comments to make. So if you are going to pursue it in another country as well, this video would still be helpful. I have split this video into several sections so that it's just easier to navigate, and I'll be leaving the timestamps for everything down in the description. You can watch the entire video or go to that particular section to get the information. So the first part of this video is how to apply for MPH in Australia, and the second part is everything you need to know about public health. Before I get started with this video, I have also made 2 other videos. One for the packing essentials for international students, and the other one is everything you need to know about the Australian education system. So you can watch this video and then watch the other 2 so that you get an idea about how everything works, and you will be all prepped to come to Australia if that is your dream study destination. So the first thing that I would like to start off with is what exactly is MPH. MPH stands for Masters in Public Health, and public health is a degree that you understand how the health system works, how various health habits, behaviors and attitudes are spread across the global level, regional level. It basically covers every single thing about health under one roof. So it's a very broad course, and you get to learn a lot about how the health of different nations work, especially more focused towards Australia in Australia, but also you get to do assignments on whatever countries you want most of the times, and on various issues such as climate health, tobacco, women's health. There are so many topics that you cover in the 2 years of your degree. So if this is something that resonates with you, public health is the right choice. So starting with why I chose Australia and not any other country. So I initially had 2 countries in mind for public health. One was Canada. That was my first preference, but the reason I did not go through with Canada is because I only applied to 2 universities, and both the universities wanted prior experience specifically in public health, and I come from a clinician background, so that was not sufficient to apply for the master's degree. And the second choice was Australia because Australia also gives a lot of importance to public health, and it's also got an amazing set of universities that focus on research as well. So this is something that pulled me to it, and there was no prior public health experience that was necessary as part of the eligibility criteria. I thought Australia is the best choice, and the university I chose was second best for public health, and that is why I ended up here. The next thing is to get you started on how to exactly research for information and find out universities to apply for. I will talk about what I exactly did, and then we will progress from there. So basically, I started an Excel sheet and I went through each and every college that offered public health in Australia, and then I made a list. I made a list of all the courses that I actually liked, subjects they offered, the kind of research facilities they had. I basically made a whole elaborate Excel sheet, and then I kind of shortlisted after that. Some points to keep in mind before you shortlist or before you make an Excel sheet is that Australia has 3 different types of universities. One is the first tier or Go 8 colleges. These are basically the Ivy League colleges of Australia, and they are more expensive, and they also have more funding towards a lot of things as well. The second tier and the third tier universities could be a little bit regional rather than in the city. Their semester fee is comparatively lesser than the Go 8 colleges. The quality of education could be different. I'm not very familiar with that, but doesn't mean that you will not get a job opportunity if you end up choosing a second or a third tier colleges. Nothing as such. It's more of what you try to learn and how you put that into action over here. So every university website is super straightforward, like super duper straightforward. They have their fee structure, the eligibility requirements, what courses they offer, what electives they offer, what is the duration of this course, and every single thing mentioned in the website. And in case something is not mentioned in the website, feel free to email one of the admin from that particular university, and they'll get back to you as soon as possible. One thing that I've learned from Australian universities is that they always respond. It might not be as quick sometimes, but they always tend to respond. Another thing to note down is public health courses, or generally any master's courses over here, comes of 2 different types. One is coursework and one is research intensive. So coursework will have a lot of subjects included, a lot of theory, practicals, etc, etc, and the research component or the research intensive will have 1 year of thesis project. So for me, in my university, we don't have the research intensive or coursework option. We only have coursework, and in our last semester we can either choose to do research, placement, or an impact lab, and I've chosen to do placements. But if I had chosen a research intensive in some other university, I would definitely have to do a thesis for my second year. Once you've made a list of your colleges, you would kind of get an idea as to where you are leaning more towards. At least choose 5 to 6 colleges in hand, like with a mix of Go8 and second tier and third tier colleges. Now the second step is to decide whether you want to apply by yourself or go via an educational agency. Basically any study abroad agency is pretty good for this, and they are free of cost, so you can get the consultation done. They will apply for you. They'll also apply for your visa as well. So it's kind of a very easy process, and even if you decided to do it by yourself, it isn't that big of a deal. It's just that a lot of your time will be saved if you go to an agency, and these agencies are free of cost because they get money directly from the university when they enroll you, so you don't have to pay them anything. If in case you are going to apply by yourself, then just make a list of 6 to 7 colleges, apply to them, and you will hear back from them maybe 1 or 2 months. The earlier you apply, the faster you will get your response. I would highly suggest you apply way before, at least 3 months before, so that you can get your visa process started, funding and all of that sorted as well. Otherwise it will be too much of stress in the last minute. And if you're going through an agency, they would suggest some colleges as well. You are obviously allowed to tell your preference and what you want. I would always suggest you double check every single thing that they do, because even though they're experts in this field, they are also humans and mistakes tend to happen. So always cross check all documents, all the forms that you have to fill. Just double check, just ensure everything is okay before you proceed with that. Coming to scholarship, again, this depends upon university to university. Some universities will send you an automatic scholarship via the offer letter, and some universities you'll have to externally apply. Since I went via an agency, they kind of told me how it goes. So you'll have to cross check with each university you apply to how the scholarship works. It's better to reach out to the management as such, because they'll be able to help you out on this better. Now let's come to the section of how exactly MPH works, what to expect out of it, how or why do you think you should take it up. Most of my DMs is filled with either dental graduates or medical graduates who want to pursue public health over here in Australia, and they always ask me this question, is that if they think that this is the right choice to make. Before I get started with this section, I kind of want to make it clear that I know it's super hard to finalize on a course and study abroad, because it involves a lot of money, a lot of time, a lot of sacrifices to come here and study. And if you end up choosing a course you don't like, that is going to be a nightmare. But it is also a risk that you should be willing to take. And right now in 2025, we have so many resources. Google, ChatGPT, YouTube, they are all there to help you out. There are tons of resources out on the internet. So I would highly suggest you start by doing the research by yourself before you reach out to anybody asking if MPH is the right option for you, or if you think this is what you need to be doing in life. These things are completely subjective. So I personally love public health, and I personally wanted to do this particular course after dentistry. I have no means of wanting to pursue dentistry over here after this point, maybe later after maybe 5 or 10 years as such. So if you are coming with the aim to practice medicine or dentistry, then your perspective towards public health will be completely different, whereas my perspective would be about pursuing public health as such. So this is the kind of subjective opinions that would come up. So this section is going to be very objective. I'm just going to give you facts rather than giving my opinions, and I urge you to do your own research before you reach out to anybody. So number one that you have to make sure is that when you choose a public health degree, you make sure if you're eligible for that particular course. Mostly in Australia, all health sciences background clinicians and health professionals, basically, they can do a public health course. It's a very broad course and it's very welcoming to any science background student. Now, coming to understand if this is the right bet for you, again, there are two things. Are you going to pursue public health and find a job in this because you like it, or is this a pathway to do something else that you want? Maybe you want to pursue your nursing career here, maybe you want to pursue your dentistry career here. Please weigh this option first and then decide. Your decision kind of depends upon what you want to do as well. So something that I would highly suggest you to do is open up ChatGPT, because ChatGPT becomes the most useful tool over here. Try to put in your interests and what you want to do in the next 5 years as such, and then ask ChatGPT if all of this would align with you taking up a public health degree as a master's. Would it be essential for you, useful for you, or if there is something else that you should choose? Because I feel like that analyzing yourself first is very much necessary before you choose any course. This is not just for public health. Even if you're doing any other course, this would drastically help you. You can even put that particular university and then ask ChatGPT if that particular, all those courses that are there, would that align with my goals in life. So one more common question that I get is, should I choose MHA or MPH? So MHA stands for Masters in Health Administration. So this was never in my interest to pursue, so I never looked up into it, but I have a couple of my classmates from undergrad who have chosen this course, but I have absolutely no idea how that works. So I would highly suggest you to go through each of the university's website, again ask ChatGPT about the pros and cons of both and see which aligns with you better, because this way you'll be able to take a proper informed decision. And further down, after all of this, after analyzing all of this, if you still have many questions, then please reach out to somebody on LinkedIn or even via me through DMs. If there's something that has not absolutely given an answer to, like you are very much stuck and you have like absolutely no idea, still request you to ask questions that are more factual based rather than questions that are related to helping you out make a right decision, because you're trying to put somebody else in spot to make a decision for yourself, which gets very tricky. So whenever I get DMs asking if this is the right choice or not, this is what I say. It's very subjective and I have absolutely no rights to make any decisions for any of you. Discuss with your parents, your family members, and then come to a conclusion for this. Coming to some of the exciting parts is, what do you learn in MPH and what are some courses to look forward to? Kind of a template for all MPH courses, but there are other things that depend from university to university, even country to country. But some courses that are pretty much common in all public health courses would be biostatistics, foundations of public health, epidemiology, health promotion, global policy. So these are some things that I could be missing out on more subjects, but these are some things that are like a standard template that keep coming up all public health courses. But there are also additional courses and electives that you can take up. Like I had an elective last semester that was newly introduced called public health advocacy. So that was not there for the previous years, but it was just started last semester. So again, from university to university, new courses will be introduced or it will just differ. There were courses that I saw related to tobacco and other universities, like tobacco endgame, tobacco advocacy, but I did not see that in my university website as such. The way these courses are assessed is basically via reports, essays, and maybe sometimes presentations, group work, and even sometimes exam. My course personally in my university doesn't have any exams, so yay. But yeah, I do have quite a bit of assignments to submit with different percentages. For this, you have to check out my other video, everything you need to know about Australian education system, because I've kind of explained everything over there. One more thing that I would like to add about public health in general is that you need to be very aware of recent happenings, recent news, and yeah, basically there'll be a lot of reading involved and keeping yourself updated on current affairs, whether you like it or not. So that is something that is very, very crucial, essential, because all your assignments work on current changes that are happening, and it'll definitely be a lot of reading and computer work that is involved. There's no such thing as practicals as such, apart from the fact that you'll have like internships or placements. That again depends from university to university as well. In the beginning of public health, I'm pretty sure it is very difficult to kind of focus if you want to get into the research side, want to do a PhD and navigate life in the academic side, or if you want to get into the corporate world or an NGO or just get the feel of a workplace as such. So I feel like that you will eventually, as days go by, as semesters goes by, you will be able to figure it out. I will highly suggest you to take up any summer or winter programs or internships or research programs that come up in the university, because they kind of help you understand what pathway you want to choose, and also you can always talk to your professors as such and tell about your interests, and they will help guide you better. Coming to the job opportunities and scope, this is another question that always comes up, and it's super easy to find this on the internet, because there you just type and it will give you a varied set of job opportunities. You can also use LinkedIn and put in some keywords in such as health promotion, public health jobs, and you'll get a list according to region wise, and this will kind of give you an idea. You can also read the job description. So this is how I have been navigating so long, trying to understand the different kind of jobs that are available. And again, these kind of jobs will depend upon like what kind of place are you looking for in an NGO, are you looking for a government sector, or are you looking for in a corporate sector. Government jobs here, yes, as international students you can work for them, but I think it's only up to a level. After that you might need a PR or be a citizen, or it's just focused towards certain positions that require a PR or citizenship, but not all. So you'll have to again go through the job descriptions. There's no set rule as such. Currently, from what I've been hearing in like, you know, networking sessions and like webinars and stuff, the more regional you go in Australia, the probability of landing in a job in public health sector. But overall, the economy, the job market, everything is pretty low. I wouldn't say it's impossible, because seeing some of my seniors land up in jobs, and there are also a good amount of seniors who are also looking for jobs. So there is quite a balance, and it could also be because they are not kind of finding the job they want to do. Something that you have to come here and experience. It's not something that can be told, because every year the situation changes, the way everything functions changes. So it's something that you would know only after you graduate as such. So I'm in the verge of graduation, so I will be able to give you better input only after I graduate. The last question that I want to answer is about my university. So I'm studying in University of Queensland in the School of Public Health. So these are some things that you might have to know if you are interested to come here as well. UQ is the second ranked in Australia for public health, and we've got an amazing set of professors who are extremely helpful, super knowledgeable. They have the best connections, and they do some amazing work in the public health space. And we have a good number of professors who are focused on research and who are just focused on administration, who are focused on both. Super kind, super helpful. There's always something or the other happening to improve your employability skills. So that is something that I really like. You as such is connected to a lot of research centers. So if there's a particular topic you're interested in, there is resources for you to go to. So you will not be lost. You will not have a lot of searching to do, because there are tons of resources, opportunities available. So I hope this gave you guys an idea about what public health is, how public health works in Australia as such. These questions I have been getting for the last 2 years, so I've compiled all of them and I've tried to answer as many as possible. So further than this, if there are more personal questions, I will not be answering them. I apologize. It's due to time constraints and privacy related, and also most of the questions that have been asked are very easily accessible on Google. But I hope this video was really helpful. If you feel like there is something that I have not covered, feel free to comment and I will respond to it, or somebody else who knows the answer will be able to respond and help out. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye.